Turning our attention now to the ASX, here's Matt Birney and Bulls and Bears with the latest public company views and interviews.
Welcome to Bulls and Bears, brought to you today by Radiopharm Theranostics, ASX code RAD. I'm Matt Birney and I'm joined now by the Executive Chairman of Radiopharm, Paul Hopper. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so Radiopharm listed on the ASX last year in a $50 million public float. It specialises in a new class of medical treatment for cancer known as radiopharmaceuticals that can discern between healthy and cancerous cells which they can seek out, illuminate and ultimately destroy without damaging the surrounding healthy cells. Radiopharm has just secured a new radiopharmaceutical product under sub-license originally invented by an American university. Okay, Paul, I want to get into that deal in just a minute, but firstly, without getting all scientific on me, what exactly are radiopharmaceuticals and how do they differ in terms of treating cancer from what's out there now?
Sure. So in very simple terms, radiopharmaceuticals have two approaches. One is to take a radioactive particle called an isotope and you give it to the patient and you do two things. You can either take an image of the cancer cell, which in that treatment's been around for years, or secondly, you can use the radioactive particle to essentially fry or kill the cancer cells. So one is a diagnostic, that is to look at the cancer, and the other is a therapeutic, that is to cure the cancer.
Tell me about this new radiopharmaceutical you've just secured under sub-license. Who licensed it to you and what type of cancers can it tackle in your view?
Yes, look, the license came from Case Western Reserve University in Ohio. It's been under development by a prominent radiopharmaceutical professor there. And basically what we've done is there's a target on a cancer cell, what they call a biomarker, that only turns up on the surface of tumour cells, cancer cells, but not in healthy cells. So when you give a radioactive particle or an isotope to the patient, this particle will go directly to the cancer and leave alone the healthy tissues. Because one of the problems in cancer treatments is, such as chemotherapy, is when you give the chemotherapy, yes, you kill the cancer cell, but you also damage the healthy tissues surrounding it.
What type of cancers are you initially intending to trial with this new product and why?
Yes, so initial cancer we're going to go for is brain cancer, also known as glioblastoma. And the reason we're targeting that is that all what we call the preclinical work, that's the work before you actually put it in a human, was done in brain cancer models of mice, and the data was very encouraging. But we're also going to look at gynecological cancers as well.
How is brain cancer treated now?
Look, it is largely unchanged for 30 years. You have a scan, they find the cancer, they operate and cut it out, then they give you radiation and chemotherapy, and then you go home and unfortunately, because it's such a devastating disease, in 7 or 8 months it grows back and then there's various options. They may put you on an experimental drug, they may do some more surgery. So nothing much has changed in a long time.
Paul Hopper from Radiopharm Theranostics, thanks for joining me on Bulls and Bears today. And remember, we're only here to give you information, not advice, which you should of course seek independently. I'm Matt Birney and this is Bulls and Bears.
For more public company CEO interviews, go to the Money page on the 6PR, 2GB and 3AW websites and click the Public Companies tab.